Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Diddly dee, here we go. That's right. Oh, Vicky's green today. What color will you be? Come on down to the chat and check on in. Hello, Christopher Engelby, looking beautiful in blue. Also, hi to all the daddies out there. I think I might be too naughty for most of you to handle. I'm just saying. Just saying. It takes a special man. Anyways, let's get to it. We are actually going to talk about a special man. That was not quotes. Special man. What the fuck was that? What did I even do? Anyways, because we're off to Tennessee, baby, and a unique case, to say the least. Mac the Knife, yes. That's right. Ta-da! And we also travel by flu powder, like this. Doodly-doo. Doodly-doo. Look at us. Color check, color check, color check now. Okay. Sorry, I'm hyper. I'm hyper today. I'm hyper. Probably don't need another Red Bull, but probably will drink one anyways. Oh, anyways, life's getting more complicated because my computer is full again. Full again. Full again. Full again. All right, here we go. Here we go. Courtney. Oh, daddy.
Thank you, Judge. I'll submit an order
Thank
to
you,
that.
Judge.
Thank you.
Let's get going. He looks uncomfortable when I call him daddy.
General Miller, are you ready on your child support matter? And have her on Zoom. All right, this is an appeal from the child support magistrate, is that correct?
We'll be able to hear them better in a second once they use the microphone. Also, I have nothing to do with the names. YouTube daddy in charge of that. Speaking of
All right.
daddy.
This is an appeal. Let's see. From the findings and recommendations that were filed by the child support magistrate September the 17th of 2025, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
No.
The defendant, the state only has one correction to make on the sheet.
All right. Then being an appeal, it is a trial de novo from the child support magistrate. So you may put on your proof, General Miller.
Aloha. As a reminder, a trial de novo means a new trial, basically. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Also, twists and turns on the ending of this case. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, this is the appeal from the magistrate's findings
Slow down just.
to set aside the voluntary acknowledgement. The magistrate denied the defendant's request. I have the mother on Zoom, Ms. Alicia Eagle. So if we want to place her,
Siegel, I need you to unmute your device and let me place you under oath. All right, if you will raise your right hand and let me place you under oath, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you. General Miller?
would you state your name for the court, please?
Alicia Eagle.
Okay, Ms. Eagle, are you the mother of Jackson?
I am.
Okay. And Jackson was born when?
November 25th, 2014.
Of 2014, okay. And a voluntary acknowledgement was executed a couple of days after his birth, is that correct?
Yes.
When did you meet Mr. Toller?
I met Mr. Toller May of 2014.
May of 2014?
Yes.
Were you pregnant at
I
that
was.
time? Okay.
Yes.
Oh my good golly, she was pregnant. Sashina, thank you so much. 24 months of support. We love you too. But this lady just said she was pregnant when she first met him. Oh, And that is the crux of this case. The crux, I tell ya, the crux.
Did you tell Mr. Toller you were pregnant when you met?
Yes,
Were you showing?
I was.
So what time, do you know what time you would have conceived?
It would have been February or March of 14.
Okay, so prior to you meeting him in May,
Correct.
Did you guys live together?
We dated on and off, like throughout, from May on. I moved in officially in November of 14. Like I would go stay with him for weeks at a time, but I still lived with my mother
Okay,
in Ashland City.
okay. And you moved in together in 2014, November 2014, is that correct? Is that what you-
Yes, right prior to Jackson being born.
Okay, and so you lived together as a family for how long?
We lived in Ashland City till 2019 when we relocated to Michigan. And we lived up here for another about 6 months before we officially split up.
Did Mr. Toller hold himself out to be the father of Jackson during the time you lived together?
Yes, he was there for the time of birth. That baby was next to his side every day.
All right, and he was, you said he was present at the hospital,
Yes.
okay? And you know that Mr. Toller had a vasectomy,
Yes.
okay? All righty. So there's no question that Mr. Toller is not the biological father of this child in your mind.
No.
All right. Who is the biological father?
His name is Randy Hitz.
Okay, and is he deceased?
He is.
Had he had
Rose, the Satterfield case? Hold on, let me check. I'm pretty sure I did, but that was so long ago. I feel like today has been so fucking busy. The McMillan one? Yes, I did get it. Yes, I did.
any interaction with the child at all prior to his death?
He's seen Jackson, I want to say 2 or 3 times his whole life. There was a visit when Jackson was about 1.5, 2, where he's seen him
Who the
for,
fuck's phone
I
was
want to say
that?
less than a couple hours. And then he's seen him 2020
Okay.
for a few hours.
All righty. What year did he die?
I believe it was last fall
When
or
did
the
he
year
die?
before.
Die.
I'm sorry. That's not a date that I'm aware of.
All righty. And did you apply for services, child support services in Michigan?
I did.
Okay, and they forwarded, of course, to Tennessee to establish an order of parent of support with
Yes.
Mr. Toller. Okay, Are you working?
I am.
Okay, and what is your income?
I make $15 an hour,
And
And
how
I
many
work-
hours?
about 32 to 40, depending on the week.
Okay. Do you have any other children in your home?
I do. I have 3 others.
Okay, and who are those children?
I have Zoe, Kylie, and Asher.
And Asher was left off the UF's application by mistake, is that correct?
Yes, when I was filling it out, I was unaware of how to do it, and my child support office up here in Michigan was not very friendly on answering phone calls or questions. So I tried doing the best of my ability, and I contacted my worker up here, and she
Alright.
was unavailable.
The bottom line is you have 3 children in your home. They're your children, not stepchildren. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Zoe will be 18 in the summer.
Yes,
Is
this
that correct?
next
But she won't graduate until what year?
2027.
Do you have any childcare costs for Jackson?
I do not.
Do you have any medical insurance costs for Jackson?
Yes, his stepfather just put him on his insurance through work.
Okay.
The family plan cost about $200 every 2 weeks.
200 every 2 weeks?
Yes,
Okay. How many people are on that plan?
there are 6 of us.
6?
Yes.
Okay. And is that insurance already in place?
He applied last week for it during open enrollment since we just recently got married. We are waiting for it to kick in. I believe it starts the 1st.
Bye, Christopher. I
Does
love
he already have the
you.
insurance in place for other for the rest of your family and you're just adding Jackson?
No, we are
Okay.
all getting added.
Okay, so all brand new insurance.
Yes.
Does Mr. Toller have any parenting time with Jackson?
Ma'am, he hasn't spoke to Jackson in 363 days. He hasn't seen Jackson in 2 years since I was pregnant with Asher. So it's been just about 3 years now. He
Have
hasn't
you-
seen-
Have you done anything to prohibit him from having any contact with Jackson?
I have not. I'm actually the one that initiates all the contacts. We call Mr. Toller at least once a week. Jackson asks every day if he
Jackson asks every day, can I become a member on KCC's channel? Maybe if you're lucky enough for Christopher Angleby to send you a gift. Oh my gosh. Christopher, a known giver. Thank you so much. Look at that. Names I recognize and some that I don't, but I love to see them all. We did a members only yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we did. Thank you again, Christopher. Oh my gosh. What amazing gifts. In what is a week of giving, I'm to understand, in America. I love that. Thank you so, so much. You are so sweet. Have a great rest of your shift at work.
can call his father. Last time he has seen Jackson, I was actually the one that came to Tennessee, got a hold of Mr. Toller and asked him if he would like to take him overnight while we were there, because Jackson was bugging me every hour on the way down. Mom, can we call Dad? Mom, can we call Dad?
Mhm. When's the last time Jackson had overnight parenting time with Mr. Toller?
It was February of 23
Is that here in Tennessee or Michigan?
when I was in Tennessee.
Tennessee. And at the time of your separation, Jackson was about 5, is that correct?
Yes.
So he has recall of Mr. Toller being part of the family
Yes.
and recognizes him as his father.
He doesn't know any other man as his father. He never recognized Randy as his father. Mr. Toller is the only man that he calls dad.
Okay. That's all I have here.
Hi, Ryan.
So is your name
Welcome.
still Miss Eagle, or what is your last name now?
It is still Eagle. I am putting in my appointment with Secretary of State later this week.
Isn't it true that Mr. Toller believed this child was his?
No,
That
it
you
is.
were carrying his child?
No, it is not. He knew from the get-go that I was pregnant when we met while I was working at the gas station.
Is there, isn't it true that in the paperwork you filled out for the state in which you reside, that it says your question that you answered, I had sexual intercourse with a man other than the person I am naming as the respondent during the 30 days before or 30 days after the child was conceived, and you put no, correct?
I honestly don't remember what I put on that paperwork. And I told Miss Miller that when she called me about it, was that I was in a fog. I had a newborn baby.
Okay, I'm gonna supply the court a copy of the paperwork. That's the Child Support Enforcement Transmittal #1 initial request, in which that question is asked on page 4, paragraph 1. Isn't
was in
it
a
true that
fog.
when Mr. Hitz,
A
the
dick fog.
person that you are, have stated as the father, passed away, that you actually posted online that I'll tell Jax the truth about his father when he's old enough to understand it?
I did, because Jackson does not know
Is it-
random facts.
Isn't it true before his death that you actually moved him into the home with you and your child?
That is not true at all.
He didn't live in the home after Mr. Toller moved out of the residence.
No, he did not.
Isn't it true that it was only after Mr. Toller moved out of the residence that he learned who the father was?
No, it is not.
Do you agree that you posted on August the 12th, 2023 online that you were going to tell your father who his father was at his, when he was old enough?
You mean tell my son when
I'm
his
sorry, Jax, who the father was.
Yes, when he is old enough and ready. He is not in the emotional state to understand that yet.
Isn't it true that in the obituary for
The whole point is this guy signed a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity knowing that he had a vasectomy, and he's trying to unravel that deal now, many, many years later. There is a retraction period, if you will, for acknowledgments of paternity, but it is not a long time.
Mr. Hitz, that that Jackson was listed as his child?
The spelling is wrong, and I had no control over that because I have no contact with Mr. Hitz's family.
But you did make the post online, correct?
I did because I have lots of shared mutual friends.
I'd like to submit that as an exhibit to her testimony. No further questions of this witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Eagle, when you applied for services in Michigan, did you do that in person or online?
For child support services, DHS started them.
Did you meet with someone personally to
No.
complete the application?
Nope, it was all online.
Okay. Was it an error on your part that you indicated on that paragraph 4 that you did not have sexual relations with anyone else?
It was.
Or did? Okay. That's all.
No further questions of this witness.
All right. Then, I'm going to mute Ms. Eagle and we'll move forward with, any other proof that you have, General?
No, sir, that's all.
You wish to put on proof?
Call Mr. Toller.
Mr. Toller, if you'll come around to the witness stand, please.
Here's Daddy. Raise your right hands at home,
Raise your right
guys.
hand, these folks in the room.
Mr. Toller, please state your full name for the court.
Christopher Odell Tolan. Christopher Odell Tolan.
And do you live here in Tennessee?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you previously in a sexual relationship with Miss Eagle?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did that begin?
I'm not sure of the dates, honey. You probably know more than that. I don't-
About the date?
Yes,
A
ma'am.
Tuesday.
At the time you began a relationship with her, were you aware that she was expecting a child?
Not at when we first started, no, ma'am.
And did you become aware that she was expecting a child?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she lead you to believe that the child was yours?
She never really said it was mine, but then we just, of course, we were together and we loved, was gonna go on with our family,
Did she ever tell you the child was not yours?
Uh, yes and no, I'm not really, but it was later, you know, we said, you know, she told me about it. She was pregnant after about with 3 months.
So when she was pregnant 3 months, she told you the child
Yeah.
wasn't yours?
No, she didn't tell me it was mine, but she just said that she was pregnant.
That she was
And
pregnant?
then we were together, and, you know, like I said, we were gonna go with our family, yeah.
When did you learn that the child was not yours?
Mm, I mean, we'd already been together for a while.
How long?
Mm, Probably several months into it, yeah.
Was the child born before you learned the child was not yours?
Yes, ma'am. No, he was born before well, I know he was born after I knew.
Okay, so when you signed that acknowledgement of paternity, were you aware the child was not yours?
Yes, ma'am. At that time, I was, yeah.
So did Miss Eagle move in the father of the child after the two of you separated?
I don't think she moved him in, but he was around some,
And
according to the statements I had.
no further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions?
Sure.
Mr. Teller, do you know the dates you moved in together or when you met?
No, ma'am, I do not. Like I said, it's something I just,
Could you tell she was pregnant when you met?
not really at first I couldn't.
Okay.
Not till
All
I
right.
got them
And you
clothes
stated
off.
that she never said the child was yours, never said the child was not yours.
No, ma'am. It just, when we first got together, we was dating for a while. And then, like I said, I just discovered that later. And, you know, like I said, we were together and I planned on doing whatever, but then
He
I,
wasn't tricked either, though, Ryan.
rubbed it in my face that it wasn't later down the road, but
And if I understood you correctly, you said you signed the voluntary acknowledgement knowing the child was not your
I did at the
biological
time,
child.
yes, ma'am, because I
Okay.
thought we was gonna be able to,
Okay. Were you forced to sign that?
no, ma'am. I
Okay.
wasn't.
Did you understand what you were signing when you signed it?
Yes, ma'am, I think so.
Okay. You understood the financial responsibilities at the time that you signed it as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down.
Yes, sir.
Well, that didn't do him very good.
Do you have any other witnesses?
Unmarried parentage can establish parentage. It has a rescission period of 60 days. If it's not rescinded within that 60 days, it becomes conclusive proof of parentage, including the financial responsibilities of supporting the child. Mr. Toller, the only way it can be set aside after that 60 days is under a finding of fraud, duress, or material mistake of fact. These parties both knew that he was not the biological father of the child, so there's no.
According to him, he says, no, he didn't know.
I can cut it short. My clients agree. We're just gonna strike our appeal. It's what it is.
Did you hear that?
Then we need to run the gun.
They give up. She fucking concedes. And the judge is like, what? Hold on. Hold on. That's not fun lawyering. You're not supposed to give up. We're supposed to argue about it.
Your Honor.
Well, what concerns me about this is that we have a mechanism for an adoption of a child by stepfather or whatever, and we've done that today. And we have a petition to establish paternity that can be established as well. When a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity is made, it is a presumption, but it sort of seems to me against the public policy concerns to allow someone who's not the biological father of the child to acknowledge that he's the father. I know that if the biological father was living, that he would have grounds to come in and set aside that voluntary acknowledgement, because there's case law, and I've been involved as a lawyer in cases where that was the case. The biological father comes in, he asserts his rights as a father. The non-biological father who had been acting as the biological father of the child, this is a case I had down in Waverly, and had been paying child support for many years. And Judge Leonard Martin upheld my client's, the non-biological father's right as the father. Court of Civil Appeals said, nope, biology triumphs, they foster a situation. So the appeal is stricken, and good luck to you for supporting a child that's not yours. So.
Now, we need to, correct the worksheet to include the third child, please, and that we had before, and assuming there's parents and since there's not a range, I believe it's on the third floor.
Any opposition to that? It seems to me that's just a clerical issue.
Thank you, Doctor.
Well,
All right, should we watch the Satterfield
I was all
case too?
prepared to make some
I've
laws.
got it on my other computer. Just give me 1 minute and I'll move it over.
All right, call the next case.
She didn't cheat. They were fucking together after she got pregnant. He knew from the fucking get-go.
Have
He
a
was
motion to
fine when they were
contest the
together,
inventory.
but he did it himself.
Honor,
He didn't have to
and-
sign that.
I don't know how the court wants to handle it, but we've gotten some bank records, and so we actually, Ms. Bloom hasn't prepared a competing inventory yet because we just got those bank records not that long ago. So we might just pass that portion of the pending motions and let that be dealt with at a final hearing. Might be a good way to handle that.
So what are we hearing today if we're doing that?
So we have a motion to set, and then we've also filed a motion for detailed accounting for the administrator to put together some accounting for us.
All right, Mr. McNabb, do you have any
Okay,
opposition
we're done with you,
to?
Judge. As much as we love it, we're actually all about the action, and I got this other case today. Yeah, please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We do this a lot. We have literally like 1,000 episodes, I think, over the 2 channels of watching Real Court live. We love to do it together all the time. This one I think I got in 2x because I was nervous about missing it. I did see somebody else in the chat, so I'm sure some of you have seen this.
In person and self-represented in a paternity case he filed in 2025 DM 337. Ms. Jackson appears.
Ooh.
Ms. Jackson, you came to the courthouse?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Where do you live?
Andover.
Okay. Thank you for appearing. And we have DCF represented by Ms. Hawks. All right. There is a corresponding child support case in 25 DM 186. It's this court's opinion that the motion to set aside the VAP could have been filed there, or in a paternity case. So Mr. McMillan brought his own paternity case where he's disavowing or trying to rescind the VAP. It isn't to establish that he's the father, but rather that he's not the father.
Right.
He is on the voluntary acknowledgement for paternity. And in your petition, you indicate, or in your motion,
Yes,
I
thank you
should
for
say, to set
asking.
aside that you filed. You indicate that the acknowledgement of paternity was within 1 year of your request to set it aside. But I don't have a copy of it. DCF has access to it. You have access to it. DCF has access to it by statute, but I don't have it. And I thought I had requested that you send us a
It's a good
copy
idea. I don't do any
of that so that I could,
exercise.
you know, I assume it's
Just
right
walk.
around the time that the child was born, but so that I could confirm the date that you executed that.
They executed are you talking about the final motion or my forms that I sent in earlier? Because I was told in a letter that I got from your assistant that the forms
to
would
update my
be
OnlyFans,
that were received would be good enough to go along and start the court filing procedure, and I just needed to turn in a final motion to have it on paper. I was emailed by your assistant, Amy, a while ago. I can check the dates that you guys did get the final motion. And so so what paperwork are you referring to that you do not have?
The actual acknowledgement that you signed at the hospital as.
Okay. Yes, no, because there was none. I specifically asked the delivery nurse for a.
Before he gets into his little rant, I will just tell you, Ryan, we have a very liberal situation around here. We're a good group of people. We hang out a lot. We're all friends, but we take the piss out of each other. We make a lot of fun. You have to be able to take a joke to hang out here. We don't ban people. We don't mute people. I am the only one that would do that. And even if that were to happen, we actually have a process upon which you can apply to get unbanned every quarter. Just to let you know, nobody's ever been banned, so nobody's ever had to do that. And we put up with a lot. But what I tend to find is that you'll have a good time. Yeah, lots of orgies too. Lots of orgies. Exclamation mark kink, exclamation mark gobble. We have a lot of fun commands too. So yeah, make yourself at home.
A paternity acknowledgement form and a DNA test prior to the child even being born in the hospital room. I was then told by the delivery nurse that they do not do neither of those two legal documents in the hospital, and this is at Wesley Medical. The only thing I did sign was the birth certificate, which under my what I've been told is not a sign of paternity establishment.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
I have a copy of the signed voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. I apologize, I had not provided it because it was my understanding today was a pre-trial conference, but I'm redacting the confidential information right now, and I'd be happy to email that over to Ms. Volkman if you'd like to see a copy of it today.
Yes.
I will get that emailed in just a moment, Your Honor.
Is that Amy? Can that be emailed to me also?
I can email it to both parties, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, what I said in the hospital, I did ask for a paternity acknowledgement form and was told that was not what Wesley Medical provided. So I'm not entirely certain what piece of paper she's referring to.
Well, you being on the birth certificate does create a presumption under the law. But when you actually sign an acknowledgement, then that has greater force and weight unless it's challenged within a year. I mean, you're really excluded from being able to challenge it at all if it's been after a year.
Well, I sent in my I don't have my paperwork with me right now. I'm at work, but I sent in a bunch of forms requesting paternity testing and denouncing paternity.
Yeah, I have that. I have that in the
Denouncing the
court file. I just
paternity.
don't have a copy of the VAP, which is the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't either.
This is my Christmas outfit. Hi, Brooklyn. Oh my god. Also, Ryan, normally I get my tits out as much as YouTube Daddy allows. But it's fucking really cold. Oh my gosh. Why does small hats make me so happy? Like, this is like inordinate. Oh, also, is it exclamation mark? What is the one that says the ring thing? Is it exclamation mark ring? We have so many commands I can't even keep track of them. Judge?
Can you send that, Amy, to my Gmail, please?
To your Gmail?
Your
That
Honor, I
sounds like
just
a
sent on the
fucking
email to Ms.
cybersecurity
Boatman, and then
problem.
I will send it an email now to Mr. McMillan and Ms. Jackson.
Okay.
Ooh. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. I'm pink. Oh shit. John's gonna come after me. Oh my god. Sir, you're wearing a hat. Is he wearing a Motorola hat? What is on his hat? Also, I mean, I guess
Mr.
I shouldn't
McMillan,
talk.
where do you
I'm also
work?
wearing a hat.
I work for my brother. It's called the Sign House in Salina, Kansas. My brother is Robert Harper.
Yeah, I do, but I have to update it, Ryan. I do it infrequently. Exclamation mark OF should pull up a link, but I don't think you can get into it right now. I literally have to update it. You know.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it's a little loud. I just stepped in the break room. I'm on
No,
my
that's
break.
fine.
It's
No, you're
not.
fine.
It's not loud, bro. But I have lost weight, so I probably will start doing it more. Ooh. Also, I forgot. I thought that Lisa is the mom, or is she the security? I think she's the mom, right?
Mr.
yeah, like,
McMillan,
they're
can you
straight
remove
up
your
movies.
hats, please?
Yeah, I'm
What,
sorry.
mine? No, I'm gonna leave mine on. I will not. I'm a naughty girl, and I will not take off my hat. Unless you spank me first. Yeah, I appeal to a very niche audience.
Okay, so Mr. McMillan, have you gotten the VAP?
I will check.
I'm about to hit send on his email, Your Honor. I was sending them separately.
Okay.
She didn't want to give him your email, Judge. No email for you. Jacob. It's Lita? Oh, fuck. Thank you, Brooklyn. It's Lita. I used to have hair that looked sort of like Lita's. That would be excellent, Covey Clown. A nap or not having to watch kids. Well, guess what? I also have a child, but my daughter is almost 17.
It looks like it was executed 9/10 of 2024.
So while we were still in the same in Wesley. So yeah, I specifically asked. I have to look at this because I did ask the delivery nurse about the paternity acknowledgement form.
Well, I mean, you executed one. So unless you're gonna, establish there's a forgery, you have in fact executed one. And so this petition was filed on the 8th of September, not the motion, but the petition.
And I was told in a letter that the petition would be considered the motion until I get it there, and that was well past
Well, they
30.
might dispute that, but I mean, I kind of did treat your petition as notice that you were disputing. I don't see a filing date of your motion, unfortunately.
Does this get spicier? I feel like the last case was spicier than this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it was filed on November 6th. There's a fax notice up at the top. I believe that's what they're using. as the
Yeah,
filing date.
I can't read mine, so,
It's November 6th.
okay. So what is the state's position on the VAP and by virtue of filing the petition, on September 8th with regard to his ability to contest the VAP within 1 year?
Your Honor, I mean, I believe I knew what his intentions were on the September 8th filing, that he was intending to set aside the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. So I'm not necessarily asking that he be barred from making any argument, because he titled the document a petition versus, a petition for concerning paternity and opposed to a petition to revoke the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. However, I mean, I think he still has the burden and it's on him to prove that, he signed that voluntary acknowledgement of paternity based on fraud, duress, or material mistake of fact.
So I did look at the paperwork. I really don't remember that. It was after, but I will say it was after 24 hours.
I'm naked a lot at home. You'd miss a lot at home
Hours
too, Ryan.
of
Or just be very distracted.
her in delivery, and then
distracted. I
she
forgot
went
to
into
change
a
the
C-section.
speed.
At the time of signing, I hadn't slept in 36, maybe 48 hours.
I mean, that, you're presumed to know what you sign, so.
And
unless
I
you-
did ask the delivery nurse about a paternity acknowledgement form, and they said they did not do that. So
Well, they obviously do. The social worker must have came in. Somebody brought in this form because you executed it. So we need to set this for trial. I have not looked at whether the burden of proof is clear and convincing or a preponderance. Does it indicate in the statute?
Your Honor, the language says the person requesting revocation must show and shall have the burden of proving that the acknowledgement of paternity was based upon fraud, duress, or material mistake of fact, unless the action to revoke the acknowledgement of paternity is filed before the earlier 60 days, which obviously it was not filed 60 days after he signed. I don't see if it's preponderance of evidence or clear and convincing. I can do more research, Your Honor, to determine that.
Okay, because the burden, the burden of proof matters. I mean, he has the burden of proof. The standard of proof is what we need to clearly establish.
so you need proof on why I think this is not my child.
No,
No.
look at your motion you filed. By statute, read the statute.
I currently forgot my paperwork at the house. I'm at
Okay, well, we're not doing it today anyway. I'm gonna
Okay,
schedule it for an in-person evidentiary hearing. But, you have to prove when it's greater than 60, but as long as it's under a year, which you've met I'm finding that you've met the under a year. Not only did you orally, contest paternity in your 25 DM 186, but you subsequently filed a petition in 25 DM 337 and then followed up with a formal motion. So I'm not going to find that you're time barred for the 1 year to be able to challenge it. So you have succeeded there, but then what you have to do is you have to prove that you signed that document under mistake of fact, without full knowledge of the relevant circumstances, and so that it constitutes some form of fraud, misrepresentation, etc. Okay?
Okay,
So
is that, okay. I'm sorry.
that is what you have to prove. I would strongly recommend, if you truly do not believe that you are the father, then I would strongly suggest that you try to obtain an attorney, because it's going to be cheaper to pay an attorney now to help you proceed with this case than 18 years of child support. So you make the decision, but you're going to be acting as your own attorney. You definitely have the burden of proof, and you have to prove fraud, duress, or mistake of fact, or that document is a full-fledged forged document.
I
That's
mean,
how the law works.
Okay.
The law wants to establish fathers, and the law doesn't freely allow, once a person has legally acknowledged paternity, to just rescind that. So that's just the way the law is stated and the way it works. And so I'm going to give you enough time to prepare your case and subpoena your witnesses and do whatever you think you can do, your own testimony, any exhibits you have to show
Yes.
fraud, duress, or mistake of fact. Okay?
yes, so I do have a, it's all electronical evidence that would back my theory on why this is not my kid. The other person texting, the defendant or
Okay.
other.
So you're not proving that it's not your kid. What you have to prove is the document that you acknowledge that it was your child back on September 10th of 2024 was signed under a mistake of fact, fraud, or duress, or some form of misrepresentation. Okay, that's what you're proving. Then if the acknowledgement gets set aside, then the court can decide if it's in the best interest to order genetic testing per your request.
Okay.
Which the child's young enough, quite honestly, I probably, in holding a Ross hearing, would take into account those factors. So we may get there, but you legally have to present sufficient evidence to set aside this document that you apparently haven't fully looked at.
I just looked at it. My initials. I mean, it's
Okay.
so yeah.
All right, I'm gonna set this for an evidentiary hearing. Again, I would strongly,
Can I get a court appointed lawyer?
no,
appointed by court? No.
no, not in a domestic case, no. Because you're not gonna go to jail over anything, so no, you're not entitled to the appointment of counsel. Ms. Hawks, do you think that we ought to have a specific pretrial order, or are you satisfied with just scheduling this for a trial?
Your Honor, I'm fine with scheduling it for a trial. I think there's pretty much one very specific issue. I don't know that a pretrial order would be necessary.
Okay, okay. So if you're going to subpoena witnesses and or talk to an attorney, today is the
I have to go turn
24th,
on the
you
oven.
need at least 2 to 3 weeks to subpoena witnesses. I actually think either the afternoon of January 8th or the afternoon of Friday, January the 9th would give you enough time.
Yeah, it's the time's not the problem. It's more like the money. I've talked to many lawyers. And a retainer fee is $4,000, and I don't have that money. I don't
Keep
know.
calling, keep calling.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was the lowest retainer, and I have called 3 counties worth of attorneys: Butler County, Sedgwick County, and Saline County.
Tiny hat fun for my tiny muffins and the tiny hats. Thank you, Bill. Also, weed is legal where I live. Ryan, I hope this isn't a deal breaker. I'm Canadian. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for the tiny hat fund.
I have called every lawyer that will pop up online. The lowest retainer fee is $4,000. I don't have that.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Contact legal aid then. And see if there's somebody from legal aid that would represent you, or if they would give you some references that people that do reduce fees. Or don't require a big retainer. So contact legal aid, see if there's some association that provides some advocacy group. I think you ought to try more attorneys. They're going to need, though, that VAP and any evidence that you have. But
Legal
most
fiction
of them
is
will
a
at least
known giver around here. We love legal fiction. I've been around the block, the LawTube block, I guess. We're always here around this time. I love this tiny hat too. Thank God for Bill, because he literally just funded a second tiny hat. And you know what? I love to deliver.
to consult with you for an hourly rate to consult with you. So I'm gonna go, and they can continue the trial if they need more time or you need more time to pay or whatever the case may be, but I'm gonna get this scheduled for trial. That's all I can do, sir.
Judge, I will say on January 8th, that is where we have the probate trial with Miss Henry, Miss Sir, and Mr. Elliott scheduled from 9 to 5.
Okay, it's not in my book.
It's not.
All right, so, well, that's not gonna work, and that's backed into backed into a Greenwood week. That probably wasn't very smart.
Correct.
That's immediate gratification, Bill.
All right, I don't know that I want to turn around and have another trial January 9th, but this case has to be heard.
And the 9th, you've got a 9 and 10 pre-trials on civil cases, and then we just have a name change at 1 o'clock that day, but I could move it.
Okay, that's not on my calendar either. No, I don't want to move that.
You guys can't see how they're held on? That's like a YouTube thumbnail. Oh, what? What? What?
Well, we could do the morning of January 23rd. And that means we'll just be limited on that domestic day. You're just gonna have to find some place else to put some of the domestic, Amy.
Okay, the only hearing that we've got scheduled that day outside of first appearances is at 11 o'clock, and it's a case that I moved due to the Coley sentencing. And I believe I
I don't have that on my calendar either. Okay, so Ms. Hawks, does Friday, January the 23rd, of course, that's child support enforcement on Fridays, isn't it?
Your Honor, Judge Murphy is the first and third, so I believe that's the fourth Friday, so I should be available.
Okay. Do you want to do 9 to 11 or do you want to do 3 to 5?
I would prefer 9 to 11, Your Honor.
Okay.
9 to 11.
All right.
Rather
So,
than 3 to
sir, you
5?
have 2
Is that what you
months to
mean?
get your case put together. Go online, go to YouTube. If you've got to represent yourself, figure out how to do it, subpoena witnesses,
Did you just
look at the
recommend YouTube,
statute,
Judge?
read whatever.
Mikey,
you can
did
come
she
up
just
with
recommend
that I
YouTube?
can't-
I heard you did a 2-hour show today. That's wild. Absolutely wild. I'm serious. Is that what she just said?
Figure out how to do it, subpoena witnesses, look at the statute, read whatever. Do you want to do 9 to 11 or do you want to do 3 to 5?
I would prefer 9 to 11, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so sir, you have 2 months to get your case put together. Go online, go to YouTube. If you've got to represent yourself, figure out how to do it, subpoena witnesses, look at the statute, read whatever you can come up with. That I cannot give you legal advice. But that gives you 2 months to either secure counsel and have them ready to go or entered in your case as your attorney or ready to try the case, okay?
All right.
So that is Friday,
Aye.
January 23rd. I would suggest that you
Aye.
print that document out and that you have it available. Ms. Hawks, do you believe that that should be filed under seal in the court file or just
Your
made
Honor-
part of the record in the trial?
Your Honor, I did redact any of the confidential information before I emailed it to the court and parties.
We love a redacted
I'm always
queen.
partial to filing anything like that under seal, but if somebody objects to that, that's fine as well. And if Mr. McMillan or Ms. Jackson either obtain counsel, I would obviously be happy to send them a copy as well.
All right, sounds good. I think I'll just make it part of the
They're pretty
trial.
much every day, Ryan. We'll be
record
back
at this
around the
point.
same time
It
tomorrow.
could have been probably attached as an exhibit to the motion, but I don't think he's gonna figure out how to go back and do all of that.
We're all almost
So,
done, actually. I'm just drawing it out to
I think
an
that
hour.
as long as everyone has it and understands that that's gonna be an exhibit in the trial, then and part of the record, I think we'll be okay with that.
Yes, Your Honor, and I had intended to admit it as an exhibit at final hearing, so.
Sure. I mean, I think it's gotta be.
We love it when you come
All
down,
right.
Mikey. You're an inspiration to us. We all know how hard you work.
10 days prior to the trial date, I want you to provide a list of witnesses and a list of exhibits to opposing counsel and to the court. Okay, so that would put,
And how would one go about doing that? Do I send it? It's electronic. Do I send it through email? Would I send it to your assistant?
you can print it out and mail it to the clerk of the district court, or we get notice of everything that you file.
Yes, so I have an audio recording of the mother admitting to selling herself for illegal drugs on conception date. It's an audio recording, ma'am. And the drug dealer texts her and asked if it was her child. And her response was, I don't know. I have a screenshot of it, Your Honor. An audio recording.
Okay, well, you're going to have to authenticate it by calling her as a witness, seeing if it's, I mean, you're gonna have to research how you're going to introduce that into evidence. And you've got to provide it to the other side. So Ms. Hawks is prepared to know what the evidence is going to be, as well as Ms. Jackson has a right to know what the things are that you are going to present. Okay? And then you've got to get it admitted, which is why I'm telling you that it is a very good idea for you to secure an attorney, even if you
Yes.
have to get a loan from somebody, because you're going to be paying a lot of child support for the next 18 years. And I think it's more important for a child to know who their father is and for a child to be involved in their life. But I'm just trying to impress upon you that you get one shot at this, and it's not that easy to act as your own attorney. Even if you're an attorney, it's not that easy to act as your own attorney. So witness list and exhibits need to be exchanged by January 14th. All right, if there's nothing further, we are adjourned.
There's nothing further. We are and then she cut herself off. Was it free ass or paid for ass? Well, she paid for drugs with her ass, is what I understood it to be. I don't know. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I can't do 2 hours like Mikey. I just don't have it in me. But one day I'll have it in me. Hopefully. All the way through. But in the meantime, do me a favor, remember that I love you, and I'm what did she say? Women have it good, no one would pay you for sex. Oh, Mikey, I know you're wrong. I absolutely know you're wrong. There is absolutely somebody who would. Anyways, do me a favor, remember that I love you, and I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye. Shit, where's the button? I'm all distracted. Bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.